basically it just looks like a stripped down version of their main website, right? But it's designed to give the most relevant information for the mobile user, right? If I'm in my car or walking around looking for a sandwich to eat for lunch and I pull up this site, I can very easily find everything I'm looking for, right? What do these guys serve? What kind of sandwiches do they have? Where are the stores, right? How do I contact them? And then they've got a few other things in here that are probably not real necessary on a mobile phone. Support our foundation and become a franchisee. I can understand why they want to have that there to promote those things. But really, if I was designing, I think, just a really good mobile app for a sub shop, I would just have that menu, store locator, how to contact us. Certainly those social media buttons are nice because I could easily share the site with friends. And then I would probably have a little coupon section there, right? So that somebody could easily get a coupon and really try and drive them into my business. So the layout is a little bit different from a main site, but mobile browsers are often just looking for that basic information like driving directions and hours of operations and contact, phone numbers. So apps like this, or mobile websites like this, I should say, make it very easy to find those things. So I think step one is to create a mobile-friendly site so that all of the millions and millions of people looking for you can find you and get what they're looking for. Make sure you have the basic information that someone would look for when on their phone, right? Their address, their phone number, driving directions. Make sure that all of those things are prominently displayed, right? So get that mobile site created first, because if you are investing in any other type of mobile marketing, you'll want to make sure that the mobile site is the first thing you have so that your ads drive people to something that they can actually use. Okay, it makes sense. All right, next, let's talk about SMS messaging, commonly known as text messaging. All right, text messaging is wildly popular, and it's mind-bogglingly effective in terms of its ability to promote a business and acquire new customers. I mean, consider the stats on this slide. People are really engaged with their phones and really engaged with text messaging. I mean, nearly 3/4 of phone users send or receive 664 texts each month, and that they only make 176 phone calls during that same period. So people are using their phones more for text messaging than they are for phone calls, which, if you have a teenager in your household, you know that this is true. The highest text messaging or SMS messaging experiences the highest open and read rates of any form of digital marketing, right? The open and read rates for text messages are literally off the charts. And lastly, whereas people change their email addresses a lot, as they change jobs and things like that, 33% of people change their email address on a yearly basis. So if you have a list of email addresses, it gets bad pretty quickly. Whereas people keep their cell phone numbers for a long time. They often try and keep them for life so that they don't have to, give out a new number to people, right? So people tend to keep those numbers for a long time. So if you build a list of phone numbers for SMS messaging, you'll oftentimes have that list for a long, long time and be able to reach those people for years to come. Now, I think there's a widely held notion that text message marketing is simply another form of spam and that users don't like getting promotional messages delivered to their phones, right? They're just looking for messages from friends and family. And there's a grain of truth to this because you don't want to spam people. So you do have to be careful about SMS messaging, but you should also know that people want to hear from you. And I'm not making this up. The data shows it. One survey shows that people actually prefer to get coupons via text message over any other channels. And, I believe that. I mean, here's a coupon, an example of a coupon sent via text. And this is just a real simple version one here. But I can see why people would prefer getting a coupon this way over other forms. I mean, who wants to clip paper coupons and carry them around with them wherever they go, right? There's very few people who really want to do that. But having a coupon on your phone is a very easy and practical way to take advantage of special offers. And you're carrying your phone around with you anyway. And every phone can receive text. So it makes it a very easy way to have those coupons with you. And text messages aren't just good for coupons. They're great for appointment reminders, like if you have a hair salon or maybe you're running like a chiropractic office or things like that, where you need to let people know about their appointments, remind them about their appointments. Or you could let people know that their reservations are ready, right, for a restaurant. So there's a number of ways that you can do this. I've seen businesses use text messaging to update customers on the status of some sort of project that they're working on, some sort of major project like home renovations and things like that. There's almost no end to the practical uses of text messaging. If you decide to launch an SMS marketing campaign, there are some things that you should consider. Number one, get permission and provide value. Right? Get permission and provide value. Make it very clear how you intend to use their information. Nobody wants to get spammed on their phone. So make it very clear that you are going to use it for coupons, if that's what you plan on using it for, so that people know what they're getting into. Encourage participation by offering incentives. People love discounts and special offers, so use that to build your list. Right? You can offer somebody a coupon immediately for joining your text messaging list. So as soon as they join your list, you will automatically send them out a coupon that they can use. And then use that SMS list to deliver rewards, giveaways, coupons right away and frequently so that they feel like they're getting value from it and they're reminded to visit your business over the competition. All right, so how do you do SMS messaging? It's really quite simple. There's platforms for doing SMS messaging, just like there are email marketing platforms or email marketing tools, right? And it's a very similar thing. You just log into this web interface, you compose your message, and you send it out the door to your list. There's really not much more to that. The one special thing that you have to do with SMS messaging is that you have to set up your short code. And obviously you want to post that short code wherever you can so that your prospects and your customers can see it and use it. But a short code, if you're not familiar with that, is just one of those short little phone number codes that you actually put, on signs so that people know, text coupons to, Subway or whatever it is, or coupons to, 90210, so that you can send them out the coupons. And that's their way of joining your list. All right, so that's the only thing that's really different about SMS messaging, but it's very simple, and certainly we can help you with that if you're interested in that. You can go out and find services out there as well. All right, next, let's talk about mobile advertising. So another great way to leverage your buyer's reliance on their mobile phone is to run mobile ads. Here's an example of a mobile ad for Kentucky Fried Chicken, of all things. And it may be a little tough to see, but this ad was actually presented inside of the mobile version of FHM magazine, which is a popular men's magazine. And it gives the mobile user an opportunity to win a PSP gaming console from Sony as an incentive for visiting the Kentucky Fried Chicken site and, of course, hopefully eating more of their food. Right, so there's a competition. I'm sure if you purchase one of these boneless banquet meals that they're promoting here, then you get entered to win a PSP. So they obviously know their audience. They know that they probably have a lot of young men who are interested in gaming, that they're trying to get to eat more Kentucky Fried Chicken. So mobile advertising like this is taking off like a rocket. According to research from MobiThinking.com, a mobile research firm, mobile ad spending worldwide is predicted to reach $20.6 billion in 2015. $20.6 billion. And as you can see on this chart, there were over 234 billion, with a B, ad impressions, mobile ad impressions, in the fourth quarter of 2011 alone. 234 billion in one quarter. That's a huge number, and it's growing at an astronomical rate. You can see on the right-hand side there that there was a 251% growth in mobile impressions over the past year, and 488% growth in smartphone impressions in the global mobile market. Okay, so that is just absolutely astronomical growth on top of an already huge number. Now, the question is, what's working in mobile advertising? Well, data compiled by Gartner, the IT research firm, shows that search ads and location ads deliver the highest revenue. In other words, local is where it's at. In the US, over half of US mobile ad spending is local. So that means if you're a local business, meaning that you primarily sell or service a specific geographic area, mobile advertising may be the perfect thing for you because you can target people based on specific locations, based on specific applications that they're using, and even the types of devices that they're using. So it allows you to narrow in exactly on who you're trying to reach. Okay, let's talk about some of these strategies for a moment here. Some things to keep in mind. One, be realistic about what you expect, okay, when you're running these mobile ads. Mobile marketing is very effective and its potential grows every day, but it's not a silver bullet. You can't sell, real big ticket items to somebody on a mobile phone. So you shouldn't expect major transactions to occur from the mobile phones. Instead, work on how you can get them to just take the first step in a sales process and get that started, right? So that may be just making a phone call to you, or getting them to opt into your list, or possibly even downloading an application, a mobile application. Whatever it is, it's got to be quick and easy to do on the phone for it to be a success. So think about that when you're creating your ads and creating your campaigns. You want to make sure that you're expecting them to do something that's realistic from a phone. So how can you get started with mobile advertising? Well, there's lots of great ad networks and platforms to choose from. Google, as always, is the elephant in the room, but there are some other great players in this space that you might want to consider. Competitors like JumpTap, Millennial Media, Microsoft, Tapjoy, and there are many others as well. Each has its own pros and cons, and each usually has like better reach for particular types of buyers. Some focus on sending ads just to people on gaming devices versus phones, things like that. If you're just getting started, I would suggest 99% of you should just get started on Google's network, the AdMob network, which they bought AdMob a couple of years ago. It's a great network, and it should be, like I said, it should work perfectly well for 99% of you. Once you get familiar with that mobile advertising, maybe you want to really dig deep into your strategies and options, then that's probably the right time to look at some of these other resources. But you know what? Getting started really is easy. So again, don't be intimidated by this. Don't think that it's just something for big businesses. Creating a mobile ad, really, it's essentially the same as just placing a normal online ad, which if you haven't done that, it's simple. But you want to make sure that your art and your messaging is optimized for mobile screens, and really that you're, again, asking your audience to do something realistic on a phone. And lastly, be cognizant of the results that you get, and constantly tune and tweak them. Really look through the analytics of these campaigns, which you can get fantastic analytics, and really work to improve the messaging and the response that you're trying to get from these ads. All right, next let's talk about mobile applications. This is the next piece of the mobile marketing puzzle. Apps are a huge business, and I'm sure you're all familiar with apps. If you're in if you're using an iPhone, you've got the Apple App Store. It's become just this amazingly big business